Good morning, fellow Guardians. So, first off, I want to apologise because I've got a bit of a cold, so my voice is a little bit raspy. But it's not COVID, so you don't need to wear a mask while listening to me, so that is a plus. So, moving on, we're going into the third week of the Grandmaster Nightfalls for Season 15. Now, this is going to be the Exodus Crash. Now, I've got a few different loadouts for you here, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to be running as well. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, for my team, I'm going to recommend that we run the Divinity with two Izanagis and a Falling Guillotine Sword. Now, within this coming up Nightfall, there is Overload and there's going to be Anti-Barrier. So as you can see here, I've got all of that covered. So I've got the Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, Overload Divinity, and an Overload Sword as well. So make sure you've got the accommodating mods for those also. Now, the reason I've gone for this build is because the snipers are tremendously helpful throughout this. The last one of the Exodus Crash, the best recommended weapons were scout rifles, sniper rifles, and swords. The swords are not as useful throughout the Nightfall, but they're very, very needed at the end of the Nightfall, whereas the ranged weapons are all the way until the boss. So, definitely accommodate all of that in there. Now, we would recommend a well. Now, you can run stasis if you want to, but we feel like well's going to be more important staying alive in that boss room. Getting to the boss room is not an issue. They've actually reduced the amount of ads from the first time they did the Grandmaster Exodus Crash, so it's not as bad. So chuck a well on. If need be, have two wells and a bubble, probably. It'd be nice to have an Invis Hunter as well if you need it. But if you're going to be running the well, we would recommend the Phoenix Protocol, just so you're getting your super back on kills and you're getting some more orbs for the other team as well. The only other thing I want to mention is there is so much arc within this coming up Nightfall, so please, please, please get an arc chest piece on, get arc resistance on. You can run two, or just run one if you need to, just run one. I'm going to be running one with the sniper resist because there's a lot of long range ads from here as well, and they will one-shot you, so please, please, please run them. Other than that, if you've got them, I'd probably recommend Protective Light. Now, I've only recently started using this mod, accommodating with taking charge as well. So every time you pick up an orb of power, you're actually protected and you get a bit more resilience against enemies. So it's any little bit of health and resilience you can get, especially within a Grandmaster Nightfall, we would recommend it. Obviously, make sure you've got your right mods on. We also run Radiant Light and Powerful Friends. That gives you a bit more mobility and strength and resilience and things as well. Okay, so that's basically it for the Warlock. Now, again, if you wanted to run Stasis, definitely run it with the Eye of Another World. It'd be nice, you need one well. We would recommend at least one well. Even if you have two Warlocks or three Warlocks, just have two wells, one Stasis, or one well, one Stasis, however you want to do it. But that's the builds we've got. Now, the reason, again, we've gone for the sword is because that final boss room is quite enclosed, as I'm sure most of you are aware. So when you go into the boss room, if you go immediately to the left, there's a little area there, like a few boxes and things. That's going to be your sort of base of operations. That's the best place to be for the boss damage. I'll do a proper video on that throughout the week. But so chuck your wells down there, chain your supers, and just try and lure all the ads to you from there. Okay, so that's it for the Warlock. Now, let's move on to the Titan. For the Titan build, I've just gone for the Izanagi's build that we're going to be running with the Warlocks. Now, I'm going to be running the Titan anyway. As you can see, he's not quite 1341, but he will be when I get rid of some of this 1250 stuff. So, with the Titan, I've actually gone for the Bubble. Now, if you wanted to go for the middle tree, you can with the Ursa Furiosas, but as they were nerfed last season, I wouldn't recommend it. So I would chuck a bubble on, and the bubble's more useful throughout the boss room anyway. And I actually run it with Crest of Alpha Loopy. This will actually give you some healing, which is nice for a Titan. So you can pop a barricade, get your healing back up if you're ever in danger, and you're also making a few orbs for your teammates as well. Also, if you're going to be running it, you could try and increase your resilience a little bit more, just so you're getting your barricades back up a bit faster. In terms of the weapons, Izanagi's Burden. Now, we use this for pretty much every Grandmaster Nightfall that includes Overload, just because you can run it with a Divinity, and the Izanagi's Burden still wrecks, mainly because of that long press, and you can make it into one shot. But with that, I put on a Arsenic Bite, and again, this is my favourite bow, as you can probably see from the enemies defeated. But run that with obviously Overload Bow and Disrupting Blade, so you can have Overload for two things here. Because Overload in the Fallen Guillotine is very, very good as well. But don't push in too much to just try and get that. Try and take everything from range if you can. In terms of the Fallen Guillotine rolls, Whirlwind Blade is the most important. Relentless Strike or Tireless Blade I would recommend, other than Energy Transfer though. And obviously take off Taken Spec and put a boss spec. That's basically it for the Titan though, I think. There's not much else you want to be running for the Titan. I mean, if you wanted to go super damage, you could change to Cuirass of the Fallen Star, but I don't think that's going to be very useful to yourself or your teammates. So stick on a bubble, all the Ursa Furiosas, whatever you're more comfortable with. So those are the two builds that we're probably going to be running. We'll probably run one of each actually. We'll have one Invis Hunter as well, just for some survivability. But this is a different build I'm going to be showing you here for the Hunter. Now, it's been a while since you've seen this one, probably since Insight Terminus, I think was the last time we did this one. But the Ariana's Vow. Now, it's an unusual weapon, but at range it can still be very good. And it also covers anti-barrier champions as well, and a bit of solar, because there's, throughout this Nightfall, there is 2, maybe 4 heavy Shanks, which are solar. There's nothing, no other shields that you need to worry about, so it does not matter what energy weapons you want to be going for. But in terms of this build, so I've gone for the Ariana's Vow for the anti-barrier. Now, I would only put this on if you have the catalyst done, because the catalyst increases it from 6 magazine to a 9. So it's really neat, especially if you're trying to keep an enemy stunned. I would probably recommend having that catalyst done. If you haven't had it done but you've got the catalyst, head into Shirochi and you can just get it done as quick as you can. Obviously, you got an Overload Bow, so you've got both covered, and a Fallen Guillotine as well. Now, this is also a very good solo build. If you want to be going it solo, then you can chuck these on and give it a go. And also, obviously, I've gone for the bottom tree Invis with the Omnioculus for double grenades. So this is a very good solo build if you did want to do it on your own, but this is would be nice to just have one in the team as well. In terms of the weapons, obviously, you've gone for Overload Bow and Overload Sword, and arc damage resistance and sniper damage resistance. Again, I'm going to say it, it's going to be needed in this Nightfall. Now, the pikes in this will also destroy you. So, at that beginning, at that start bit, when you're just going into the area, take out all of those pikes you can from a distance, because they will wreck you. You will not be able to take one-on-one. So, kill them as quick as you can. But that's pretty much it from me, guys, from here. If you wanted to, you could also run a Stasis Hunter. We've done this in the past for Proving Grounds, and it's actually proved quite helpful as well. But I won't lie to you, this will be a very difficult Nightfall. It was one of the hardest ones. I say it's probably one of the third hardest with the Corrupted up the top. But I mean, these are just a few builds here of what you can run. Swords are going to be so helpful in the boss room. You won't find them as useful until you get to that final boss room, though, so just be careful. And staying alive supers are going to be essential. Wells, bubbles, invis hunters. If you're going to run one of each, then do that. One bell, one invis hunter, one well, one bubble. Okay, so that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And one more thing. Don't forget arc damage resistance and sniper damage resistance. You're going to need it. Okay, so enjoy this week's Grandmaster Nightfall, guys. And, yep, if you're going to be running anything else as well, let us know, because this is not an easy Nightfall, so I'm sure everybody would like to know any easy strats that you've got. But, yeah, enjoy, guys. Toodles.